Eating disorders are serious and often undiagnosed conditions that can negatively impact your child's physical and mental health. Many people who struggle with eating disorders begin to develop them at an early age, particularly during adolescence. Around 40 to 60% of girls between the ages of 6 and 12 report feeling concerned about weight gain or being too fat. Approximately 9% of all people will develop an eating disorder at some point in their lives. The mortality rate of those afflicted with an eating disorder has caused eating disorders to become the second deadliest mental illness, behind opioid use disorder. Not only are eating disorders dangerous and prevalent, but they can also be difficult to diagnose. Recognizing the signs of an eating disorder and creating a safe, healthy environment for your child can help you prevent an eating disorder from developing and affecting your child's well-being. In this age of social media, where apps have become the main place for young children to socialize, exchange ideas, and express themselves, it's more important than ever to understand how social media can contribute to eating disorders. Apps like Snapchat, Instagram, and TikTok all combine self-image with filters, Photoshop, and quantifiable approval from others through likes and comments. Your child doesn't have to be looking for eating disorder content to find it. There have been instances where the algorithms have led children from looking at regular recipes to healthy or diet recipes to eating disorder content. Once your child has become exposed to content about eating disorders, many online algorithms will continue to promote this type of content. Your child can become inundated with messaging that normalizes and encourages eating disorders. There are many potential warning signs of an eating disorder: constant fear of weight gain, preoccupation with losing more weight, rapid weight loss, only eating certain safe foods and restricting others, a distorted sense of body image, low self-esteem related to their body image, denying eating behaviors, binge eating, vomiting after meals, use of laxatives or diuretics, fasting or skipping meals, guilt, shame, or distress around food and eating, late-night food consumption, particularly alone or in secret, hiding food in their rooms, frequent dieting with or without weight loss, lack of appetite. Any combination of these symptoms could be a warning sign that your child is either developing an eating disorder or they already are struggling with one. Mental health specialists recognize several types of eating disorders. A person with anorexia nervosa severely restricts their food intake in different ways, such as avoiding food completely and eating extremely small quantities of certain foods. People with bulimia nervosa have repeated episodes of binging and then forcing themselves to vomit using laxatives or diuretics, excessively exercising, or fasting. Those with binge eating disorder experience out-of-control binging, often eating far past their point of fullness until it's uncomfortable and even painful. Selective eating disorder, also known as avoidant restrictive food intake disorder, is when people become ultra picky about the types of food or the amount of food they eat. This most commonly develops between the ages of 6 to 12. People with rumination disorder, also known as rumination syndrome, repeatedly regurgitate their food shortly after eating. They then either rechew and re-swallow their food or rechew and spit it out. This is an involuntary action, but is often tied to general anxiety or anxiety related to body image issues. People with orthorexia restrict their diet as part of a fixation on healthy eating to the extent that it consumes their thoughts, interrupts their daily life, and negatively impacts their physical health. Diabulimia describes people with type 1 diabetes who restrict insulin for the purpose of losing weight. The term other specified feeding and eating disorder is used to describe eating disorders that don't fall into the particular outlined categories above. Unspecified feeding or eating disorder is a term for people who exhibit the symptoms of a diagnosable eating disorder but don't meet the full criteria. In extreme cases, eating disorders can result in death. One study found that people with anorexia nervosa were 6 times more likely to die than average, either from health complications, starvation, substance abuse, or suicide. Other studies report mortality rates of 4% for anorexia nervosa and 3.9% for bulimia nervosa. For those predisposed to certain risk factors, simply existing in a society obsessed with thinness and the ideal body can quickly push them toward developing an eating disorder. Bullying and teasing are unfortunately common within groups of young kids, but when those comments are centered around someone's appearance and weight shaming, they can make thinness feel like a necessary part of successful socialization. Social media can amplify the problem, as online users can cyberbully someone about their appearance with relative anonymity. Providing your children with the knowledge and understanding of what an eating disorder is and how it can develop is the best way to protect them from developing one, particularly since so much misinformation is available online. Finding a balance between monitoring your child's social media use and giving them the freedom to explore and express themselves will help you maintain a healthy relationship while keeping them safe from potentially damaging messages. If your child expresses that their social media use was a contributing factor, our team at Social Media Victims offers free consultations to help you better understand the role social media has played in your child's eating disorder. The Social Media Victims Law Center works to empower parents to protect their kids and hold social media companies legally accountable for the harm they inflict on vulnerable users. Contact our team now for a free, confidential case evaluation.